This is the 10th tree that the Conservation Board has planted in honor of a wonderful tree hugger. This time it happens to be a huge program of wonderful tree huggers, the Cornell Plantations Natural Areas program. And we have a bunch of those guys here. Todd, Mike, Jules, Ollie. And are you in the NA? There's the city forester. Grace, Jean Grace, and is anybody else from Natural Areas? Well, there's the biggest Natural Areas volunteer here, David Kiefer. There are also prior winners of the award, Tom and Janie. Anybody else that won it before? I don't think so. And there's Susan, who brought the tools. Thanks, Susan, for helping us dig this hole. We are, Kristine, me, and Susan, the communications committee of the Conservation Board, and we're in charge of the Fischer Award and of deciding who gets it and of handling the nominations. And we're really glad to have this happen here next to a Cornell Plantations natural area, the MacDaniels Nut Grove just across the way here. This is a town park. Every year we plant a tree in a town park and we engrave a little plaque that hangs in the town hall lobby. If you ever go there to, I don't know, pay your water bill or something, you can check this out in the town hall lobby. Every year another awardee gets to be on there, and there you go. We have two spaces left for the next 2 years. We hope we keep planting trees. This is something the Conservation Board does that actually happens. Otherwise we give advice. We're an advisory board. We give advice to the town on environmental conservation matters, and sometimes the town listens to us and sometimes it doesn't, but we like to plant trees because at least we know that they're there and that they're growing. So I want to introduce the chair of the Conservation Board, Kristine, who's going to tell you a little bit about Dick Fischer, whose award this is, and then Herb will present the award to him. And we're going to be planting this tree here, so if anything gets boring, you can play in the hole. There's food there. Please don't assume that you just got to stand there listening 100%. I wish I was digging a hole instead of speechifying, but that's all I have to say. Have a good time, have a fun party, and if you come on this recway, admire the swamp white oak that will fill in this space, we hope.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming. There's a lot of people here who knew Dr. Fischer way better than I do. I only know him by reputation. The award is named in honor of the late Dr. Richard V. Fischer, who, like I said, I didn't know him personally, but I have come to know him some way through the years that I've been on the board and the presentation of this award. Dr. Fischer was a long-term resident of the town of Ithaca, and through his teaching and example, he improved the quality of the natural environment within the town and the state of New York. Dr. Fischer taught generations of students environmental conservation at Cornell through courses such as environmental writing and field natural history. He wrote hundreds of scientific and popular articles on a wide range of conservation-related topics, informing and engaging the interest of his peers in the field of conservation and inspiring and educating members of the general public of all ages. Dr. Fischer was responsible for the establishment and monitoring of scores of eastern bluebird nesting boxes throughout the town of Ithaca in order to encourage re-establishment of a viable population of the state bird of New York. He also led the successful campaign to enact state legislation which mandates beverage container deposit returns, thereby reducing litter in landfill throughout the state. In the tradition and legacy of Dr. Fischer, the Conservation Board is pleased to honor Cornell Plantations Natural Area Program for their contribution to the improvement and stewardship of the natural environment in the town of Ithaca and beyond. We also encourage anyone here to think of future nominees that might be recipients of this award in the future that deserve recognition. And we'd also encourage everyone here to take a look at our Facebook page. The Conservation Board has a Facebook page. And if you haven't friended us, you should. So thank you. And I think Herb has some comments too.
I do, and I guess the plaque is over there. We'll wait on that for a moment. I have been a very long-term admirer of Cornell Plantations. I did know Dick Fischer very well. He and I served on the Tompkins County Environmental Management Council, I for 30 years. I forget how many years he had, but I think we're the two longest serving members of the of the EMC. And so I knew Richard very well, and this award is absolutely appropriate to be given on his behalf. One of my first connections with the Plantations was when the first time I became chair of the EMC, we looked at our unique natural areas. And that was the first revision we started then, because we were a little leery of some of the information. The boundaries didn't seem quite right in some cases. And so we needed a really good field biologist to help us redraw those lines and gather more information and create more unique natural areas. And the person we turned to was Robert Wesley. And Robert Wesley worked for the Cornell Plantations. And the Cornell Plantations was gracious enough to allow him enough time to do an immense amount of field research for the Environmental Management Council, and we created a much better unique natural areas listing. The reason the unique natural areas listing is so important, and the Cornell Plantations had such an important role in it, is that a lot of municipalities use that when they're looking at development plans. And it has no legal status, but it alerts you something special is in that area. And indeed, in the recent debate about horizontal hydrofracking, the unique natural areas in some cases have been in effect turned into critical environmental areas. Those do have legal status because they're filed with the state, and the state then gives them some legal protection. So the Cornell Plantations has had an immense effect, not only on just preserving some of the beauty we see around us, but also in helping with a lot of these other efforts. And then finally, I'd just like to say that I am personally grateful for Plantations, because I live in Forest Home, and that's why it took me so long to walk here, because I went the long way instead of the short way.
The scenic way.
The scenic way. And for those of us who live in Forest Home, we get to see both the cultured area of Plantations, which are the magnificent gardens and the specimens, and then by walking out, say, to Monkey Run, we get to see the wild areas of the Cornell Plantations. And in all cases, the Cornell Plantations does just an absolutely magnificent job. If you haven't been out to Monkey Run, that's one of my favorite places anywhere. Go there and take advantage of the Cornell Plantations land. So with that, we do have a plaque. And on behalf of the Town of Ithaca, we wish to present the Richard B. Fischer Environmental Conservation Award for 2012 to Cornell Plantation Natural Areas Program in honor of their active and continuing contribution to the improvement of the town's natural environment, commitment to sustainability, preservation of recreational access to nature, and dedication to teaching citizens about nature stewardship in and about Ithaca, given this 11th day of May, 2013. Congratulations. Stand in there.
Well, I'm deeply humbled on behalf of the Natural Areas Program to receive this award. Walking in the footsteps of Dick Fischer and the magnificent work that he did to educate students and citizens and inspire people to conservation, to be getting this 10th award this year is quite an honor. So thank you very much to the town board, the conservation board. It is fantastic. It is not something that we do alone, and I wanted to say a few words about folks. Herb mentioned Robert Wesley. We have many staff at Plantations and volunteers and students and interns that collaborate with us, work with us, conservation partners that we work with as well, that enable us to focus on education and conservation stewardship. And so I just want to mention a few. We have Mike Roberts here that is with us at Cornell Plantations, and Jules Ginnenthal that help do a lot of the stewardship work that we do day in and day out to manage our 3,400 acres of natural areas. It is a group effort for us to be able to focus and do all the work that we enjoy so much. I have just one other thing, because there's enough speechifying going on, but I had the privilege a couple weeks ago to meet with Peter Kariva, the chief scientist of the Nature Conservancy, and in the ISCAL lecture he mentioned the failure of environmental efforts not accomplishing our goals, and that among the reasons for that, one is that we focus so much on the negative about the things that we're losing, the challenges that we face, and we don't spend enough time recognizing all the successes that we do have. And hats off to the Conservation Board and the Town of Ithaca for recognizing that from 10 years ago to be doing just that, right? And so we're quite honored today to be the 10th recipient of the Fischer Environmental Conservation Award. So thank you all very much. So let's plant that tree.
You know, X number of years from now,
Well, tomorrow and
Your night.
I read the accounts. You got through well before the
Straight enough.
Like during nature season by going to Garrett every week and then every 2 weeks.
Before we put the cage on, that is the rector of the memorial.
everything under control. I'm not really sure about that. We've been working on it.